Good Monday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I am your meteorologist, Jess Peterson. Let's go in and talk about the weather for your Monday evening going into your future. So we have some stuff that we are going to talk about tonight, as usual. What will we talk about tonight? We will continue to talk about the weather for tonight, obviously, and for our current weather, what's going on right now. Also, our long term, and we will talk about how it pretty much will be a pretty dry period. I mean, yes, we do have some rainfall chances. We do have some cold fronts that might try to move by later this week. But other than that, we have that in the tropics as well. And I think that's all pretty much we're going to talk about tonight. It's going to be pretty quiet. Pretty quiet tonight. If you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, go and do so. Also, make sure you go and hit the share button. Share it with all the people that you know. Because we are trying to get to that main goal of 600 subscribers. We're at 594. We are six subscribers away from that main goal of 600 subscribers. So now let's go on and check out what's going on currently right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina. Well, right now, currently, there is indeed no precipitation that is expected at this time. No precipitation that is expected at this time throughout the state, and nothing is going on right now as we speak. Now, what's going on throughout the entire U.S.? Rainfall up there in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, going into Pennsylvania, going into Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Connecticut. But it's looking dry over here inside of the Ohio Valley, going into the Mississippi Valley, over into the deep south and southeast, and just all these areas over here looking good. Great Lakes even looking good as well. Rainfall going on in the central U.S. from South Dakota down to Oklahoma. Texas getting out some of that rainfall, and also some rainfall going on in the Four Corners area with some flooding and some severe weather going on in Arizona and over there inside of Colorado and New Mexico. Flash flooding also going on inside of California as well. Some of that might even turn into snow as you get into the higher elevations and on those mountains. Cloud cover, pretty clear right now. Not too much cloud cover. I was talking about it, well, not this morning. It was going to be this morning, but obviously I forgot. If you saw the post that I posted earlier, I forgot to click post to the YouTube video, so the video never went up. But I talked about it this morning, and I said that there's going to be some cloud cover from the upstate that's going to continue to move its way down towards the coastal areas, and it will try to be there by later tonight / tomorrow morning. But right now you can already see it starting to develop a little bit up there, and you can see that cloud cover from the low pressure gone now. Now what about future? So there goes the cloud cover from the low pressure moving its way off, and there goes all that cloud cover from the upstate that I was talking about this morning. Moves its way down towards the coastal areas. And for the most part, just mostly sunny conditions continue as you go into tomorrow. Now, we might see some more cloud cover try to push in from the PD, Grand Strand area, but for the most part, mostly sunny. Current temperatures right now, 66 in Columbia, as well as 70 in Newberry, 70 in Lawrence, as well as 64 in Orangeburg, 64 in Sumter, as well as 63 in Somerville, 62 in Georgetown, and 64 in Myrtle's Inlet, 65 in Myrtle Beach, as well as 61 in Conway, 64 in North Myrtle Beach, as well as 64 inside of Charleston, 68 in Aiken, as well as 69 in Greenwood, 70 in Lawrence, 68 in Greenville, as well as 70 in Clemson, 67 in Spartanburg, and even 68 in York. Low temperatures for tonight around 56 in Greenville, 54 in Spartanburg, as well as 55 in Rock Hill, 55 in Winsboro, 57 in Columbia, 57 in Camden, and even around 57 in Orangeburg, 55 in Walterboro, 57 Moncks Corner, 60 in Charleston, and 63 in Hilton Head Island, 55 in Georgetown, 53 also over there in King Street, and 58 in Myrtle Beach. Rainfall for tonight, no precipitation is expected at this time. Again, no precipitation is expected at this time, so we are good there. And in terms of the crazy score for tonight, we're at a 10 inside the calm category. Why? Well, dry conditions, cool, comfortable, reducing humidity. There may be a chance for some patchy fog, especially near bodies of water, rivers, lakes, etc. But patchy fog is, possible. It's not expected or anything like that. And overall, the atmosphere is stable. No thunderstorms are expected tonight, nor tomorrow. and nor Wednesday. So we are good with thunderstorms for the next 3 days. Excessive rainfall wise, no excessive rainfall is expected. And so now let's go on and talk about the models. See what the models have to say. So we're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. As you go on and push this forward, you can see I talked about this as well this morning. But there was some stray shower activity that I was watching for that could potentially happen in like the upstate and the northern Midlands. But the thing is that it's not going to do anything in terms of accumulation. So it's not really going to be too much in that precipitation chance, meaning that you really have like a 0% chance of precipitation just because it won't accumulate at all. So if you do somehow see a little stray shower go through the upstate and the Midlands, and you're like, well, I thought he said it wasn't going to rain. What is this rain right here that I'm seeing then? Well, that's just because it's probably not accumulating anything at all. So it's not going to be counted for in terms of precipitation. Nothing's accumulated from it. And even if you go even further, that's when you can really start to see things really start to dry out. Tomorrow morning, nice. Tomorrow, like starting off in the afternoon, nice. Tomorrow afternoon, nice. And then as you go to around 9 to 10 p.m., you can see shower activity possible in like over there near like the Horry County, Georgetown County areas, but it's very short-lived if it does happen at all. And then past that, I mean, it just looks relatively on the nicer side, even as you move into October the 15th. So it looks like it's going to be just a dry period as we move through the next like 40 hours or so. Now, what about the long-term future? We go even further into the future here, and you can see things are still dry, high pressure over us, the 17th, the 18th. But then look at this low pressure that tries to move in. This is a cold front right here. We will be receiving a cold front as we go later into this week, into possibly early next week. So there it goes as it pushes its way through. In terms of temperatures, though, temperatures will try to drop and actually will drop pretty quickly. Down to around 21 degrees, 22. Not degrees. That would, hold on. Not 21 degrees, 22 degrees, but around on October the 21st and the 22nd. Not 21 or 22 degrees. It's not going to be that cold. Not going to be that cold. Let me go ahead and say that real quick. I'm going to rewind real quick and go all the way back real quick. So starting off here at the 20th, and then as you go to the 21st and the 22nd of October, it's looking to be at like around like a good 6 to 10 degrees below average, which in terms of actual temperatures being around 50 degrees, not around 21 or 22, but around 50 degrees, or maybe around 45 degrees, 45 degrees instead. And so if you continue that forward even more all the way to the 23rd, to the 24th, that's when those temperatures start to get a little bit more higher and just not really as cool anymore. But cool temperatures are definitely going to try, and I think we probably will. We probably are in this period now to where I mean, this is almost November right here at this point. We're starting to get into that mindset now where we really just aren't really seeing too much more temperatures in the 90s anymore. We're seeing like we're maxing out maybe around like the mid 80s or so, maybe like high/mid 80s. But I'm not seeing any 90s, anything like that. So I think we really are getting locked into these low 60s, high 50s in terms of lows, or seeing those potentially mid 80s going into high temperatures. But even further in the future we go. So after that little system right here passes by, high pressure takes over again. And so obviously with high pressures comes more likely warmer scenarios. And so that continues to pushes its way east, and it's out of here. It's out of there by that time. And then once we get to around October the 26th, you really can't go that much further out just because it's way too far out. But for sure, there definitely will be potentially some more rainfall as you go into the end of October. What will happen there? Way too far out to tell exactly. So what about the tropics? In terms of the tropics, we do have Lorenzo down here. Lorenzo is a 50 mile per hour storm. Right now, that will continue to make its turn up to the north and east. But if you were here last night, you remember when we looked at the models said it was going to take that more southeast and then try to curve a little bit, turn. And so It seems like that's what the National Hurricane Center is also agreeing with me from what I said last night. I'm gonna try and make that more southeastern curve and try to kind of make like that little circle curve after it's done. And so again, that's the cone of uncertainty, so it can go really anywhere. But it looks like for the most part that it's gonna stay in that kind of like stay in that vicinity of the Western Africa area. Now, if we go even into like the actual future for this system, let me go into the here real quick. Boom. So we go and push this forward right here. You can see it curves its way up to the north and east, and it curves down to the south and east, but then goes back to the south and west, and that's what we were looking at last night about how I was going to go more to the south and east, but then it's going to curve and go almost like in a circle, almost, and kind of like phase out and kind of just not really do too much, but you can still see that system that we're watching over there, even behind Lorenzo. You can see how that system right there stays on that southern track, like I've been saying, stays on that southern track. You have a couple that curve up to the north, but you have most of them which stays along that northern tip of South America. Which one will happen? 10 days out, way too far out to say exactly, but I will say that this is one that we're going to have to watch for. Will this become, I believe the next storm name is Melissa. So that is the next one that we will be watching for after Lorenzo is done. And so that's it for really just our future in terms of the tropics. I mean, Lorenzo is really the only thing going on. And I mean, other than that, I'm not really seeing anything except for maybe like a little disturbance in the Gulf, but it's not really too concerning right now. Not really too concerned about it. In terms of rip currents as well, because rip currents will also still be a bit of an issue. If you go into tonight, moderate risk of rip currents. Tomorrow, it's low, so really just tonight. Tonight, there's a chance for some moderate rip currents, but tomorrow there is a low threat for rip currents, so we'll continue to see how that goes into tomorrow and the day after. But for now, it looks like that we may just have to go through tonight, and then tomorrow might actually be a low risk of rip currents, which it's looking like to be right now. That's it for the tropics. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's go on and see what the audience has to say for tonight. So starting off, Mr. Chris, number 1 inside of the chat. First one here. Good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great day. I did. Thank you so much for asking. Good evening to you. Hopefully you had one as well. Also says, please remember to go on, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button as well. Share with all the people that you know. And he's absolutely correct. We've had, right now, as I'm looking, 11 people, 11 have tuned in so far, and we only have around 7 likes. I don't know what's going on there. But if you are a part of those couple that have not hit the like button yet, go and do so. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. And also hit the subscribe button. We're at 594 trying to get to 600. He also says started off rainy, but turned out to be a good day this afternoon. Pretty much, actually. Did it even rain at my house this morning? I'm not even quite sure. I know that there was a chance definitely last night. It was raining last night. But I don't really think it rained that much. I actually can go on and check real quick. If I go on into rainfall, the last time I saw some rainfall at my house was at 1:20 this morning. So, or actually, was it around? Yeah, 1:20 this morning. That was the last time, like the last drop of rain. Other than that, no other rainfall at all. Back to the audience. Let's see. My Aunt Lula comes in and says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Today was a cool day inside of Georgetown. Well, thank you so much for that weather update over there in Georgetown. My Aunt Shirley comes in and says, good evening to all. It was a great weather day here in Raleigh. Glad to hear that. Miss Chris says, so everyone knows I celebrate my birthday tomorrow. Well, happy early birthday to you. Make sure you let us know tomorrow. I will have the applause ready for you for that, for when it does indeed come up. So let us know tomorrow evening. Let me see what else. Trying to get all the way down. Mr. Anthony comes in and says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Good evening to you. Thad says, good evening, just trust. All is well. Another beautiful day. That's glad to hear, especially over there inside of Texas. I'm glad that you're having a good evening as well. Let me see. Trail says, greetings, everyone. Greetings to you. Also says, Melissa, what a name for a hurricane. I know that's very, very, very nice name for a hurricane. What a. She also says, watch out. That says, oh no, not Melissa. No. You know, I think I'm gonna have to find a. I'm gonna find a new soundtrack for that whenever Melissa forms. Whenever it forms, I'm gonna find a special soundtrack for that. I'm gonna find that later tonight or tomorrow. Whenever we do get that name, because I have a very high chance that it's gonna form. That it will happen. I mean, Lorenzo is already formed. Melissa's the next one. We have until December the 1st for it to form. So I'm gonna have something ready for it for whenever, whichever storm system's gonna come and try it and do it. Let's see. Terrell says, gorgeous day here today. Glad that it was. Glad that it was. And then my Aunt Lula comes back and says, in the city of Georgetown, cars were stalled because of them driving through the water. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate. You know, I know that in terms of the flooding threat, it was only isolated flood threat, but then the day of, they upgraded it to a scattered flood threat. So they did a little bit more, but flash flood warnings were out. You know, obviously they were saying this was a dangerous situation over there in Georgetown, and so I do remember them. Remember seeing, you know, videos, pictures of it, people on the news talking about it. And so for the most part, I do in fact hope that everyone here knows that if you do see water, and what Mr. Chris just said down here, turn around, don't drown. He's absolutely correct. If you see water in a roadway, obviously do not drive in it, especially if it goes all the way up to the hood of your car. I mean, especially I've seen it in Charleston a lot. People just drive into the flood waters, and then they're surprised when their car doesn't move anymore, it doesn't work, and then they're all shocked. But just make sure that you don't do stuff like that. Terrell said, I had a productive day eating pumpkin loaf. That's fantastic. Fantastic for you. I'm glad that it was productive. And then, for the most part, my mom said, waves hello to you. And that is all. So, let's go on now and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, what are the 4 locations outside of South Carolina that I'm talking about? Well, I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and also Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about those locations is because we have people from those areas who tune in almost nightly, and so just because they don't live here in South Carolina, they're not getting their weather. So let's go on and give them their weather while we are, and while they do come on for the most time, they come in, support, share, and so that's what we like to see over here. So starting off with San Antonio first, as we always do, you have low temperatures tonight at 68, high temperatures tomorrow at 92, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 66. No precipitation is expected at this time. Again, no precipitation is expected at this time. No severe weather, no excessive rainfall. So you're good. You are good. For Raleigh, low temperatures tonight at 57, high temperatures tomorrow at 73, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 57 as well. No precipitation is expected at this time. No severe weather, and no excessive rainfall is expected at this time. Now for Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight at 55, high temperatures tomorrow at 67, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 55 as well. Showers are likely tonight. No precipitation is expected at this time either. And so there is no excessive rainfall or severe weather. Obviously, you do have that showers likely that is possible tonight. And so even though there is no threat for any sort of excessive rainfall or severe weather, just make sure that you're looking for that. And then for Duncan, Oklahoma being the last one, low temperatures tonight at 64, high temperatures tomorrow at 87, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 60. No precipitation is expected at this time. No, same thing for excessive rainfall or flash flooding. So that is it for those 4 areas. Let's go on and see what's going on throughout the entire U.S. A coastal storm continues to bring heavy rainfall, coastal flooding, high surf, dangerous rip currents, and gusty winds to the East Coast in early Tuesday. A heavy rainfall and flash flood risk continues for the Southwest / the Four Corners region, with lingering tropical moisture through Monday. Typhoon remnants are causing strong winds, heavy rainfall, and coastal flooding across western Alaska all the way through Monday, which is today. So that will pretty much end through today and tonight. Freezing will also be ongoing, especially inside of North Dakota, going inside of Washington and Oregon. We also do have some winter storm warnings out because there will have a winter storm over there in California with some heavy rainfall, with some heavy winds, going on inside of California, Nevada, and Arizona. Air quality alerts go out for the DFW area going into Houston as they're warning people not to be outside for too long. Coastal flooding, also rip currents all going on from the mid-Atlantic down all the way to Florida. And so there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Not really in terms of like big systems or anything like that, especially for like severe weather, but really just because of a lot of active rainfall, winter storm warnings coming in. You know, you have coastal areas getting conditions, and then up there in Alaska as well. And then we have some stuff going on in the tropics, but that's about all that I have for tonight. So if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, go ahead and do so. We've had 12 people tune in and only 8 likes. Go ahead and hit it. Also, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We're at 596. 596. Trying to get to that main goal. Or 596. 594. Trying to get to that main goal of 600 subscribers. We are 6 away from that main goal. Let's go on and get there. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Monday. I will be back tomorrow morning with your Tuesday morning forecast update. Make sure that you're here not only for tomorrow night, but also Wednesday night and Thursday night, because Wednesday night we'll be talking about the last half of October, because we are almost already halfway through October. And then Thursday will be the drought monitor prediction. Make sure you hit those 2 buttons before you leave, and everyone have a fantastic rest of your Monday.